Alright, everybody, we are back with TEW9 and the Shifting Sands. We are here to book the Smackdown in the Huntington Civic Center in the Mid-Atlantic region. So last week we had Simon Dean and Tully Blanchard Enterprises, Stevie Richards, and Sylvan defeat Chavo Guerrero, Rikishi, and Scotty 2 Hotty. X-Pac defeated Billy Kidman. Jim Cornette runs down the main event of the big tag team match that we had planned. Booker T hypes up Randy Orton for the 7th and final match of the Best of 7 series for the United States Championship. Then Booker T was given the U.S. Championship. Muhammad Hassan lays it all on the line, saying, I came back to WWE to win gold no matter how you people look at me. AJ Styles defeated Sabu. JBL made his triumphant return to SmackDown. We had Eddie Guerrero and JBL defeat Matt Hardy and Bobby Lashley. Chris Jericho and Christian Cage hyping up winning tag team gold at some point. We had Christian Cage then defeat Finlay. Batista talking about how he cannot wait to get his hands on Mark Henry. Then Batista and Ray defeated Mark Henry and Muhammad Hassan. Ending our show with an 84 in front of 8,504 people in the Cumberland Civic Center. So that was last week's episode. I am going to go ahead and book tonight's show, so I will be right back. Alright, everybody, we are back. We have our show entirely booked. Let's jump into our pre-show matches. So, in a decent pre-show match, Too Cool 2 defeated the Dicks in 12:04 when Scotty pinned Chadwick with the worm. The crowd heat is expectant and simmering. The wrestling got a 52, the crowd got a 51, the segment got a 57. Rikishi had a 59, Scotty had a 58, James Dick had a 46, and Chad Dick had a 47. Scotty and Rikishi got a tag team specialist bonus. Chad and James showed excellent chemistry. The commentary quality lifted it. The color commentary also as well gave it a boost as well. So let's head to our next match. So in a pre-show bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Bobby Lashley, Funaki, Orlando Jordan, and the Boogeyman defeated the Bashams and Tully Blanchard Enterprises when Orlando pinned Doug Basham with black ice. In terms of ring work, Orlando Jordan was head and shoulders above everybody else. The crowd heat is expected and simmering. The wrestling got a 57, the crowd got a 57, so we got a 52. The Boogeyman sustained cauliflower ear. The Boogeyman had a 42. Orlando Jordan had a 75. Funaki had a 59. Bobby Lashley had a 65. Stevie had a 58. Sylvan had a 50. Doug Basham had a 48. And Danny had a 60. Bobby Lashley seemed off his game. Stevie Richards really seemed off his game as well. The commentary quality lifted it. The color commentary gave it a boost. Tully did a good work at ringside. The great performance of Orlando Jordan stood out, and the performance of Bobby Lashley stood out as well. So that's not too bad. So they did pretty good in their performances. So let's start off our main card. So in a bout that had good heat and good wrestling, AJ Styles and London and Kendrick defeated Kid Cash, X-Pac, and Sabu in 11:31 when AJ Styles pinned Kid Cash with a frog splash. The crowd heat is simmering. The wrestling got a 65. The crowd got a 64. The segment got us a 78. Paul London had a 73. Kendrick had a 61. AJ Styles had an 80. Sabu had a 60. X-Pac had a 60. And Kid Cash had a 60. Sabu was really off his game. The match got us off to a strong start. So I just want to see. Not too bad then. Okay, so let's head to our first segment of the night. Okay, so we're just going to change Batista's, and I got a great, thank God. Royal Rumble, Mark Henry. World Heavyweight Championship. That's all I've heard. All I've been hearing for weeks. Every week, Mark Henry comes out here talking about how he's the world's strongest man. Every week, Tully Blanchard tells everybody that my days as champion are numbered. Every week, they make promises about what they're going to do to me. Well, at the Royal Rumble, the talking ends. Mark, I know exactly what you're capable of. I know how strong you are. I know how dangerous you could be. And I know that on your best night, you're capable of beating almost anybody. But I'm not just anybody. I'm the World Heavyweight Champion. I'm the man carrying Smackdown on his back, and at the Royal Rumble, you're stepping into the ring with the animal. Mark Henry, you've spent your entire career chasing this moment. You spent your entire career trying to prove that you belong at the top of the mountain. And when you finally get your chance, I'm going to take it away from you. Because at the Royal Rumble, I'm not looking to survive. I'm not looking to escape. I'm looking to make a statement. I'm going to hit you harder than you've been hit. I'm going to fight harder than I've ever fought. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to put you down. 1, 2, 3. And when the ref raises my hand and the dust settles, when the Royal Rumble is over, the World Heavyweight Championship is staying exactly where it belongs. Around the waist of Batista. Mark Henry, you've got your opportunity, you got your title shot, you got your moment, but at the Royal Rumble, the animal puts you down. The animal walks out champion, and the animal remains World Heavyweight Champion. So the crowd heat is hot and rising. We got a 63, so I hope this change to changing his gimmick to the animal is going to help him out a lot. So it advanced the what happens when the animal is hunted. The color commentary gave it a boost. Batista's looking very stale, so that's why I changed his gimmick. And the angle got the crowd hotter as well. So let's head to our next match. So in a bout that had decent wrestling, that had great wrestling, or decent heat and decent wrestling, Eminem defeated LOD in 12:01 when Johnny Nitro pinned Heidenreich with a snapshot. The Eminem make defense number 2 of the tag titles in terms of in-ring work. Johnny Nitro's head and shoulders above everybody. The crowd heat is hot. The wrestling got a 63. The crowd got a 64, so we got a 62. Mercury had a 63. Nitro had an 83. Heidenreich had a 50. Animal had a 53. It advanced the New Age Tag Team storyline. It suffered from a lack of psychology. Road Warrior Animal seemed off his game. Heidenreich seemed off his game. Nitro and Mercury have chemistry. They got a tag team bonus. Animal and Heidenreich got a tag team bonus. Harvey Wimpleman sucked as a road agent. Nitro and Melina have pretty good chemistry, and Nitro's getting better at his gimmick, so that's good. So let's head to our next segment. You know, ever since the New Age Outlaws showed up on SmackDown, all we heard is how they're the greatest tag team of all time. Road Dogg this, Billy Gunn that. The fans act like it's still 1999. Let's be honest here, the New Age Outlaws had their moment years ago, back when people were using dial-up internet and wearing shirts 3 sizes too big. This isn't their WWE anymore. This is our WWE. This is the era of Eminem. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn keep talking about their legacies. They keep talking about what they accomplished. That's great, but accomplishments from the past don't win matches today. Talent does. Athleticism does. Being better than your opponents does. And that's exactly what we are. Better. The New Age Outlaws think because they got a big reaction when they came back that they're entitled to something. Well, here's a reality check. You guys aren't even in our league. We're faster than you, we're younger than you, we're hungrier than you. And when we step into the ring, we prove every single night why we're the best tag team on SmackDown. Billy Gunn and Road Dogg can relive the glory days all they want. They can tell stories about the Attitude Era. They can make all the jokes they want. They could step into the... But when they step into the ring with Eminem, reality hits hard. Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, you want to know the difference between us and you? You were great. We're greatness right now. So if the New Age Outlaws want to fight, if they want to prove they still belong, then step into the ring with us. Just don't be surprised when you find out exactly what you're not even in our league. Because this isn't the Outlaws' time anymore. This is the age of Eminem. So the crowd is hot. We got a 54. The New Age Tag Team lost heat. Simon Dean could have did a better job of being a road agent. The commentary lifted it. The color commentary gave it a boost as well. So let's head to our next match. In a bout that had great heat and decent wrestling, Muhammad Hassan defeated Tatanka in 8:47 by submission with his camel clutch. The crowd heat is white hot now. The wrestling rating got a 60. The crowd got us a 66. So the segment got a 67. Muhammad had a 68. Tatanka had a 52. To advance the Muhammad's rise, and the match got the crowd hotter as well. So let's head to our next segment. Now, can you dig that? As Booker T raises the U.S. title. For weeks, for months, I told everybody exactly what was going to happen. I said Booker T was going to become the United States champion. I said Chris Benoit wasn't going to stop me. And look at me now. The prophecy has been fulfilled, sucker. But there's something else I gotta talk about. Because I didn't get here alone. You see, while everybody was doubting us, while everybody was cheering for Chris Benoit, there was one man who had my back. Randy Orton. You know what's funny? Everybody out there is upset. They're upset because Chris Benoit didn't win. They're upset because Booker T is standing here with the United States Championship. And they're especially upset because they know exactly why. Me. Let's stop pretending, let's stop acting like Chris Benoit was going to win that championship. The truth is, Booker T is the United States champion. Because I made sure it happened. I finished what I started. I took Benoit out of the equation, and I handed Booker T exactly what he deserved. That's right. Everybody can complain all they want. Everybody can cry about what happened, but facts are facts. I'm the United States champion, and there ain't a thing anybody could do about it. For too long, people like Chris Benoit thought they ran Smackdown. For too long, people thought they could ignore Randy Orton and Booker T. Well, not anymore. Now things are exactly how they should be. Exactly. The United States Championship is where it belongs. Around the waist of Booker T. And SmackDown is finally back in order. Chris Benoit is in the rearview mirror. Randy Orton is on top. Booker T is the United States champion. And all is right with the world. Can you dig that? Sucker! So the crowd heat is very hot. The segment got us an 84. It advanced the 5 times storyline. Booker T and Sharmell have great chemistry. Randy Orton and Bob Orton have pretty good chemistry. And Randy Orton clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script. It performed well. So, let's head to our next match. In a wild brawl that had fantastic heat and good wrestling, Chris Benoit and Matt Hardy defeated Booker T and Randy Orton in 13-14. When Benoit pinned Orton with his diving headbutt, Matt Hardy was a weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got a 72. The crowd got a 77, so we get an 80. Matt Hardy had a 59. Benoit had a 76. Orton had an 81, and Booker T had a 70. It advanced the 5 times storyline, the Wall Street beatdown. Matt Hardy was really off his game. Booker T and Sharmell and Booker and Bob Orton. Benoit was penalized for going through issues. Chris Benoit benefited from having public support, and he's getting better at his gimmick as well. So let's head to the next segment. So Longhorn hits, JBL makes his way down, grabs the microphone. Listen to yourselves. You boo me because you know the truth. You boo me because every time John Bradshaw Layfield walks into the ring, you're reminded of something you desperately want to forget. There was a time when SmackDown belonged to me. Week after week, month after month, I carried the brand on my back. I was the WWE champion. I was the main event. I was the measuring stick that everybody else was judged against. And now I look around SmackDown, I see people pretending they've taken my place. Batista thinks he's the face of the brand. Booker T thinks he's a champion worth talking about. Randy Orton thinks he's the future. Mark Henry thinks he's unstoppable. None of them are JBL. That's why the Royal Rumble is so important, because 29 other men are going to walk into the match believing they can headline WrestleMania, believing they can become world champion, believing they're the next big thing. They're all wrong. The Royal Rumble isn't about dreams, it's about dominance. It's about survival. It's about proving that you're better than every man in that ring. And nobody understands that better than me. I've been on top. I've carried this company. I've held championship gold longer than most of the men in that locker room could ever dream of. At the Royal Rumble, I'm throwing 29 men over the top rope. I don't care if it's Batista, Randy Orton, Chris Benoit, Rey Mysterio, Shawn Michaels, or anybody else. They're all obstacles, and obstacles get removed. Then I go to WrestleMania, I become the world champion again, and then SmackDown belongs to JBL once more. You may not like it, you may not want it, but deep down, every one of you knows exactly what's coming. The Royal Rumble is the beginning, the championship is the destination, and the reign of John Bradshaw Layfield, it's about to begin all over again. The crowd heat is very hot. We got a 70, so that's a lot better than last week's. And the Wall Street Beatdown also gained heat as well. So, let's head to the next segment. So, in a bout that had good heat, great heat, and good wrestling, Christian and Chris Jericho defeated the full-blooded Italians in 13:39 when Chris Jericho submitted Nunzio to the walls of Jericho. In terms of in-ring work, Chris Jericho was head and shoulders above everybody. Vito was the weak link. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling got a 67. The crowd got a 65. We got an 80. Christian had a 70. Jericho had an 82. Vito had a 50. And Nunzio had a 66. It advanced the return of Y2 Christian. Nunzio and Vito get a tag team specialist bonus as well. So, I mean, there's the first match in, 4 years for those two, and they pick up a win. I mean, that's not too damn bad if you ask me. So, let's head to our next segment. You know, every week I come out here and I hear people talking about who's the biggest star on SmackDown. I hear people talking about Batista. I hear people talking about Orton. People talking about JBL. People talking about Booker T. But every time I step into the ring, I remind everybody of one thing. There is only one Latino heat. I came out here, I handed business to everybody. They want Eddie Guerrero. Nobody fights harder than Eddie. Nobody entertains the fans more than Eddie. That's why I'm telling you right now, I am the best thing on SmackDown. Not because I say so, but because I prove it every single week. And now everybody's talking about the Royal Rumble. 30 men, one winner, one ticket to the main event of WrestleMania. Well, let me tell you something, Holmes. I've already been WWE champion. I know what it feels like to stand at the top of this business, and I want that feeling again. So JBL, Randy Orton, Batista, Rey Mysterio, whoever wants to get in my way, bring it. Because at the Royal Rumble, I'm going to outlast 29 other superstars, and I'm going to punch my ticket to WrestleMania. And then I'm going to become the World Heavyweight Champion. That's not a dream, it's not a prediction, that's a promise from Latino Heat. Because I'm Eddie Guerrero. I lie, I cheat, I steal, and at the Royal Rumble, I'm going to steal the show. So the crowd heat's very hot. Got a 78. I should have just scripted him, and it probably would have did so much better. So let's head to our main event of the night. So in an exceptional match, Eddie Guerrero defeated Rey Mysterio in 16:32 by pinfall with his frog splash. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got an 85. The crowd got a 76. We got an 88. Eddie got a 95. Ray got a 75. I had Advanced Muhammad's rise back to the top. Harvey Wimpleman sucked. Ray benefited from the groundswell, and the match got the crowd buzzing as well. So let's check out our final score for the night. We got an 88. Hey, that's not bad. We gained popularity in 13 regions, and the show benefited from having quite a wide selection of angles as well. So let's hop in and finish off. Boogeyman's got a cauliflower ear for 3 days. And we got 206,000 off of that. That's not bad. And the pop recap, not really anywhere. Okay, so that is the end of this episode. I will see everybody in the next one.